warm welcome to all of you aspiring traders, professional traders, gurus, signal sellers, brokers, and of course all of the girlfriends and wives and family members that are going to hear this video going on in the background when you're sitting in the living room taking up TV space you shouldn't, or you've got your computer on at an obnoxiously loud level. Hello everyone. Today's video is going to be something fun. You know, I've not done one of these in a little while, and if you've been following the channel for a little while, obviously by the thumbnail and the title you know exactly what video this is, but you're probably looking around and things have changed a little bit in here. The room I'm currently in was the bedroom for our, I guess she was maybe like 6-month-old daughter at the time. She's now almost 2 years old. So my office is now on the top floor of our house, and Evangeline now sleeps in my old office. So I want to give you a full run through of exactly what I have in my office now and what my trading setup looks like in 2025 going into 2026. So let's get into it. Now, if you're unfamiliar with who I am, perhaps you're new here, you were looking for some inspiration on YouTube and this video popped up. First of all, sorry about the accent. I'm Sam, I'm the owner and founder of KB Trading. I'm not going to give you the full run through, but I've been involved in the market since 2015. Do not be deceived by the youthful face. I do moisturize and I drink a lot of water, get fresh air, and exercise probably 5-6 times a week. Spend a good bit of time touching grass as well, hence the youthful boyish looks. But I've been in this industry for 10 years, and in those 10 years I've run multiple trading floors, trained thousands of traders to the professional level, worked with pretty much every prop firm in the industry: Audacity Capital, ftmo, 5%ers, Trading Pit, FX2, Maven. Was recently just down with Bright Funded, E8 funding markets, whatever. Flew me over to Prague just a couple of months back as well. Been around this industry for a while. I know what I'm talking about. I have a lot of experience trading a variety of different financial instruments, from futures to FX to crypto, and pretty much everything that falls in between. So my trading setup is very, very purposeful, and I'm going to be able to give you a good run through of exactly what you need that I have and what you don't need. Some stuff are just there for, quality of life improvements and make the job that little bit more enjoyable, but nonetheless are non-essential. I'm going to start off with where I'm actually sitting. I'm sitting in a Herman Miller Aeron Pro, and the size is B. I don't know what that means. I think they go A to F. A is for your Instagram 6 stone, fitness influencers. And I guess FG is for your really, how do we put this in a politically correct manner? People who are morbidly obese. But this is the B model, which for me is absolutely fine. I'm not overly big, I'm not overly small, but this is a very, very comfortable chair. I have the headrest upgrade on it as well, so that when I'm looking at my crypto portfolio and it's down 80%, I can go, and I have something to rest my head on. It kind of feels like I'm being embraced. So that's what I'm sitting on. I think, the Herman Millers, they're like £1,500 or something silly. I got this refurbished on maybe eBay, somewhere like that, or on a website, office supplies type website, for like £400 or £500. Is it expensive for a chair? Yes. Have I also had it for 6 years and never had a single problem with it and still have posture and an ability to survive after sitting in this for 12 hours a day at some point in my career? Also yes. Now, next I have what looks like a desk, but is really just some kind of tabletop that I have sitting on top of a couple of metal filing cabinets. These filing cabinets were maybe like £20 each, little metal ones that you just put together. The tabletop was maybe £60, and I can just chuck that together. It gives me a nice little workspace away from my main desk, If I'm writing, I do a lot of Bible studies, stuff like that. I speak in my church. This is a great area for sitting doing that kind of stuff. I've got plenty of space to put, various different Bibles or concordances, commentaries, whatever I need to have arrayed around me, and plenty of space to sit and write. If I ever want to do some work on my laptop, this is also the place that I would do that kind of stuff as well. So great little desk to have, and I have it just set up in a bit of an L shape alongside my main desk. Now, in terms of mics, this is a Shure SMB7. I don't use it a whole lot other than when I'm making content. I used to use it when I'm doing one-to-one mentorship calls, but I'll get onto what I use now, which is a little bit less of a headache to actually set up. Now, moving to my left, we have I actually forget what this desk is called. I'm just going to put it on screen, which should be on screen just now. It is a standing desk. The company who make this standing desk actually gave me this for free, and I done like a YouTube review on it years back. I don't use the standing aspect of this desk at all, I'm going to be honest. These days, I spend hardly any time at my desk. I sit there at my desk maybe 2-3 times a day for half an hour to an hour each time. If I am working a lot, I guess having a standing desk, I used to use that from time to time, but I'm not working enough for the standing desk component to even be a necessity or to even utilize it correctly, okay? Now, moving on from that, moving straight over to the computer, whatever you call that part of the computer, the actual computer itself, is from multiple monitors. They are a trading specific company. They built this PC for me. It was maybe like £1,000 just over back in 2020. So we're like 6 years in. The thing runs fine. It's a little bit slow, but I also have literally gigabytes and gigabytes of stuff on there. And I'm also running multiple monitors, all the rest of it off of it. It does eventually start to break down the life of the PC. But you know what? It still works. It's not bad enough that I would even think about changing it for the time being. So that's £1,000 well spent. I am running 4 screens. They are Dell P2419H, I believe, which are like Dell's 24-inch monitors. Again, I have literally had these since the very, very first Office when I only had 2 screens. I have had this same computer and screen setup literally for years. Now, those of you with a keen eye will note that I do not have my vertical monitor to the left of this array like I used to. I used to have a 5th screen. That was purely for news feeds. I miss that thing all the time. I really ought to actually get it back. That screen would simply be used for having my Twitter feeds. This came in when Trump's first term, his tweets were moving the markets. Looking at Twitter began to, that kind of sprung up as a new meta in following developing news stories and narratives in the market. You might have a £20,000-30,000 Bloomberg terminal, but if Trump's tweeting something that's going to move the markets and then it's appearing on your Bloomie, there is a delay there. So having Twitter feeds became absolutely essential, and I would have all of my Twitter feeds there. Sometimes I do miss it when something kicks off in the market and I actually have to open a new tab to go into Twitter to see what's going on. But again, not essential. I have those 4 screens on there. I've got all of my markets to the left on TradingView. Whenever I'm executing stuff, that takes place on my bottom right screen. Any Excel spreadsheets, data, anything else I need, YouTube. I'll listen to a lot of sermons and stuff like that. That's going to be on the top right screen. Now, to the right of that, I have an Omen gaming monitor, which, surprise, surprise, is not for trading. It's connected to my PS5. Gonna hold my hands up here. I do play Call of Duty. I have a Arctix Nova headset, apparently that's really good, and a Scuff FPS Reflex or something like that. A little bit geeky. I don't have a huge passion for gaming. I'll play a little bit of competitive COD each year when the new Call of Duty comes out. I'll play ranked play for maybe 3-4 months, get to Crimson, and then lose all kind of love for the game and drop out for the next 6 months until the new game comes out. That's kind of my routine. Something to do in the evenings, but that's the setup so far. Next, I have a GeForce LED keyboard. I'm not a big fan of all the RGB, you know, flashing rainbow lights and all the rest of it, but it does all that stuff. It's just a nice clicky mechanical keyboard, which is really, really satisfying. And I have a mouse that I guess is maybe in the same series, GeForce mouse, which goes with it. That mouse has like weights and stuff in the bottom, so it's really, you can really customize it to however you want. Absolutely no complaints. Really, really good little setup there. Again, is it the cheapest stuff? No, not necessarily, but again, I've had it for years and it does the job just perfectly. Now, to the right of that, I have my webcam and mic setup, which is a InstaLink 360, I believe. It's got AI features. It can track you as you're walking around. If you're moving around, you know, on a call or whatever, it does just track you. The image quality is super crisp. The audio quality is great as well. And I can really just pack that up and take that with me when I'm traveling. I can clip it onto my laptop and I'm able to do one-to-one calls with any mentorship students or anything like that. Interviews with people who want to come and work with us in the mentorship. I can run all of that and I'm not having to deal with any sacrifice in audio or video quality. It's perfectly consistent with what I have right here at home. So that gives you an overview of all of that stuff. Now, moving on to a bit more of a general office tour. The space behind me, sadly, is super empty. It's looking a little bit depressing. I had a couch, you know, like a sofa, day bed, I don't know what you call them, in my previous office setups, which was supposed to go there. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit up the stairs because we are in a loft space, right? So that was what was supposed to go there. Ultimately, I don't know what we're going to do with that space. I liked having a little area in the corner where I could go and sit and read my Bible and just have a little bit of quiet time. I don't have that up here anymore. I'm like sitting in this chair or I'm standing in the corner, you know, like a weirdo. So that's where we're at with that stuff. Have a little plant just for some greenery and for that sweet, sweet oxygen. I am a really bad plant dad. I'm a great dad to my daughter. I'm a bad plant dad. I forget to feed that thing. Sometimes I come in and it literally looks like it wants to die. It's like begging. It's like, please just finish me off. But right now, it's actually looking kind of good. I don't know if Neve's maybe been coming in and watering it when I've not been around, but you know, we'll take a rain check on that. Now, to the left of that, we have just a little cabinet type thing, which I have various different awards and stuff on. If you've been around for a while, I get certificates all the time, you know, for passing funding challenges, max allocation, payouts, all the rest of it. I don't really have the desire to go and get all of them made into awards. These are just a few awards that I was sent from companies. So I've got my max allocation certificate there. I've got, you know, a lifetime overall payouts from FTMO, which is super old, sitting there as well as a nice little bronze bull and bear statue that sculpture that my parents got me when I was maybe like 21 years old, something like that. And then to the left of that, I just keep a watch sitting there. Now above that, I have one of my favorite Bible verses, really changed my life, sitting meditating on that one verse. And to the right of it, I have a Goldman Sachs stock purchase order from the year I was born. Now, some other little bits and bobs around the room. We have obviously my Financial Times from the day I was born, which I've split into companies and markets, appointments, and of course a Financial Times main page. My old business partner, Callum, he gave me that for my birthday in maybe 2019, 2020, and I got it framed. It hung on the walls of the trading floor for literally years. When I moved to working remotely, that came with me. Over on this side of the room, I have a really nice lamp from IKEA. Again, had it for years and never even had to change the bulb, but it just provides that nice, calm mood lighting. Having the big light on kind of sucks. And then next to that, I have an air purifier. Why do I have an air purifier? Air purity, right? To the left of that, I have an ensuite bathroom up here. Again, this used to be my daughter's room, so that's where we would bath her and stuff. Now I have my own ensuite bathroom. If I want to come up here and literally stay up here all day, you know, I have the facilities to be able to do that. And I guess the final thing in the room is my ballistic helmet with my night vision goggles. Little bit of an irrelevant to trading artifact to find in a trader's office, but I'm into guns and night vision and, you know, blowing things up and all the rest of it. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I do a lot of outdoor stuff, go shooting in Poland, and do lots of cool outdoorsy stuff. So that is just a little symbol of my slightly less corporate professional side. But guys, look, that is going to wrap up the video for today. If you have any questions about the setup, specifics about where to get certain things, or what you should be implementing in your own trading setup, drop a comment down below. I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. If you are new here, please consider dropping a subscribe and a like if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned. The content on this channel, you know, we're going to try and post a little bit more frequently and get value out to you guys. I miss chatting to the camera ultimately, but stay tuned. There is going to be more content coming. Thanks as always, guys. Take care and God bless.